All right.
And we are live. This is the regular meeting of RFM and Adventures on the 5th of September 2018. It's currently Joseph, Matt, Mike Ono. Oh, Mike Ono, you have joined. And the other Mike Jung. Hello. And myself. So, a couple of people. And Joseph just told me about an issue with Docker. So that's actually very good feedback, Joseph. I'm very glad that you bring this up because I have just the right experience so far. The problem is what happens if you want to update your dependencies and you want to rebuild the whole thing.
Yep.
So you have to make up your mind. Maybe I'm sharing my screen. I have something for you. So, well, or maybe, let's do a quick round. So I'm usually diving right into the problem. Can everybody say what he or she did the last week? Where the problems were? Like Joseph, you told me about it, like you had troubles, dependencies in Docker, right? And
Yep.
what do you want to do for next week, maybe? Joseph.
So, should it be next week or tomorrow? Because it can be even tomorrow.
Say it
Whatever you
again.
want to. It can be even tomorrow. What you want to work on tomorrow.
You want
Like,
to work tomorrow?
yeah. Should we say like next week or what? You
Yeah,
said we should say what we want to work on next week, but I'm
yeah,
asking
that's
maybe.
the regular Scrum thing, right? Usually say what you're going to do so everybody knows who's working on which issues, so you can, for example, join forces until the next.
Okay, I thought maybe it's a daily like stand-ups where you say what you are working on today and then what you'll be working on
Yeah,
tomorrow.
actually, that's the daily Scrum. You're right.
Yeah.
Usually on a regular sprint meeting, everybody would say, yeah, you would, how do you say in English? Say which feature was completed, and the
Uh-huh.
customer, the product owner can make a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow,
But anyway, so for me, what I was working on was when a user logs in or visits the landing page, the home page, you should be able to click a button that asks you if you want to show the Twitter feeds or not.
yeah, yeah.
So
You want to capture, you want to have a button to ask the user if he wants us to load a Twitter feed, so
yeah,
no data gets transmitted
yeah,
to the Twitter
yeah.
with.
So yeah, I managed to do that, and then there was feedback that was left. I should be able to now translate the button. Um, I worked on that, but the process of doing that, because I had worked with another library for translation, which you go and put the string that you want to be translated in a JSON file or YAML. Yeah, and then when you run your website and change the language, then that library would generate the translate all the strings in your English JSON file to another language, let's say like French. But now for this one you're using, I had to put the English version in the English JSON and also the German version in the German um, file
Yeah,
for
we can
translation.
get back to that later. So with German, I'm the one who can help.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. I'll have a look into it. Great. And you also wanted to, you asked me if there's any other issue we can work on next
Yeah,
week.
and then yeah, so you showed me two of them. One is to change the to make the stylings for the FAQ components that are rendered in the main page, the landing page, and the other one was Ember Fast Boot, which we were trying to their program earlier with Mike and Matthew, but we
Yeah.
were unable to complete.
No problem. We can have a look into that later. Matt, what did you work on? Like especially last session, I've seen it in Slack. Can you please tell me what
Yep.
you did? How did? Yeah.
If I don't know if my connection's okay. If you have trouble hearing me, let me know. So yeah, we met and we had a look at the frequently asked questions page for the CSS, and I thought that there was something that was like really broken about the CSS on the index page, but maybe someone already worked on it, or maybe I don't know exactly what it is that you were asking to work on, because it looks, I mean, it looks okay to me. I guess there's a little bit of, maybe we can have a look together. Maybe it would be nice to have a little bit of space in between the columns of buttons, but nothing that looks really broken or too bad. So I guess clarification on that, if there is something particular that you'd like. And then we worked on the just really getting pulled down the stuff for the fast boot, and kind of working on the whole Docker issues, which is certainly not just RFM that has issues with that. It seems to always be one thing or another with Docker in my experience so far. But yeah, I remember that Joseph was experiencing the same issues that Tanita was experiencing, where you were kind of stuck in an endless loop of trying to yarn build, and it was telling you to yarn build, and you're like, I am yarn installing, and then I remember that you had joined and got her past that by doing the Docker Compose minus -v, which removes the volumes as well. And then yeah, but so I think we were able to get past that. I'm not sure. It'd be nice to document it when we for sure get past it. That it's like Docker Compose to remove the down -v to remove the volumes, and then to run through the yarn install, and then Docker Compose up, so that we don't have to rebuild. But you still need to confirm if that's true or not. And then for me, I got things working locally, although it seems like I ran into where it wasn't displaying stuff from the back end, and it was giving that no password supplied. And that was from the database.yaml, which it seems like is part of there's like varying times where that's part of the git ignore, and then there's other times where it's not. And I don't have env variables set up for. Anyways, not to bore you too much, I need to remember that I have to remove that from the database.yaml and just put the generic ones that I use for mine. And then got that up and working and was able to go there. We did notice that I'm trying to think if it was on both the Ember fast boot and the frequently asked questions. Yeah, I think it was, where the icons are broken. So I'm not sure if that's just on my machine. I can show you, and maybe we can verify on other people's machines. But maybe there's something to do with like something that's been upgraded by Dependabot or something else that has broken the icons. And yeah, so I want to maybe tomorrow pair on the Ember fast boot stuff, because we got far enough to have a clear idea maybe of what we could do for, like we had already, because you told us, but we're filling in Joseph on that, and I think I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the broken icons happens locally on development environment. I noticed that too, but it doesn't happen in production, fortunately. So you can ignore it for now, or if you want to, you can also do some research, find out why it happens in development environment. It's not that critical. Anyhow, okay, cool. So Mike and Mike, who wants to start? Did you work with Mike Ono? Did you work with Matt maybe?
Yeah, I worked with Matt, and also we were planning this session with Tonida on the refactoring issue that you created. Yeah, we didn't actually get to pair on it. We didn't actually get some time while we're in sync. Sorry, maybe Mike can go first, then I'll come later on. Yeah, she's not happy here, so maybe.
Oh, I'm very sorry for her. Okay, maybe Meg Zhang, you can also start.
Sure. So yeah, I'm still working on the last of the issue 390, the email monthly, the monthly emails. I think it's probably just a little bit of loose ends to tie up. I don't think it's anything much left. I think you did leave a few comments to my questions last time. So yeah, I'm just going to get that done, and then I haven't looked into any new issues yet. So we'll see after this gets done. I'll take a look at the issue log.
All right. So what I get is you still want to work on that issue, Matt? No, first of all, Joseph was working on the Twitter button. I'll have it soon. We can probably merge it. I will add the German translation before we merge. Then the Docker thing, I have probably a solution for that. Then the FAQ stuff, I can also cover that. Mike Uno was working with Tonida on the D3 refactoring.
Yeah, but we didn't actually get going. Like, we just had a little chat on how to. Yeah, so I think she's probably traveling somewhere. So maybe I'll start it around tomorrow. Then if she's back, we'll work together with her on that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have much time today. I have just 12 minutes left. What I can provide you with is I will share a screen. I guess you can just continue on working on your issues. I'll probably merge the stuff from Joseph. I will probably merge the stuff from Matt regarding the 336. I'll just take it as it is, if it looks okay. And I can also push the Docker stuff. I had the same problem and I was trying to figure it out. I can probably share that with you now because that might be interesting because you had that. And by the way, Joseph, if you bring that up, it's really awesome. Because because I get aware of that. Well, first of all, we're on Joseph's branch 69796. What's the issue? The issue was if you're on the start page, you go on our start page. There's a request to Twitter, and that's not very nice. It's not very nice for people who care about data privacy. And maybe we should just add, so here's the Twitter button, or here's the Twitter feed, and maybe we should have a button here before we make the request to Twitter. And Joseph did that, I think. Yeah, looks okay. We'll get into that. I will have a quick check and add some translations. I don't think it will take a long time.
I've already added them, but you can modify. I did the translation.
You did the translation?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty nice.
So it's for you to check if Google Translate did a good job for translating.
Yeah, that wasn't even translated. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, this is the relevant part. So Joseph just has a Boolean value, show feed, and if so, you will render the block template. The block template is everything in here. With block template, you mean you have this component, this Ember component, starting with the hashtag, stopping with the slash. Everything in between is the block template. In the template of the component, show Twitter, feed, handlebars, you have the keyword yield. and yield will render whatever you put in here. So the whole thing is you have one Boolean value and you render this block template if that's true. Otherwise, you show that button. And if the user clicks on that button, this Boolean value will be set to true and you see this stuff. All right? And this looks like that. Show Twitter feeds. Amazing. Do you see that? Everyone on the same page? So no request made to Twitter.
Yep.
This is amazing.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Joseph.
So network.
And also, from 1 week to the next, you know, like some people will start working on like a simple FAQ page, and it takes like 6 months to get the feature done. And some people just 1 week to the next, there's a new feature.
Like I wanted to work on like a story every day because it's Samba and it's JavaScript, which was easy to get into.
Yeah, and it's also a beginner-friendly issue. I tag thing on GitHub. So pay attention, everybody. There you go. These are the requests made to Twitter. So we can verify it's actually working as it should. So that's awesome. And
the translation.
Did the loading? Did you get the loading loading wheel to work, or the loading whatever?
No, that I needed to add some other logic. So Robert said it's not a high priority. So
okay, cool. Maybe another ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, that's perfect German. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, great, cool. Approve.
Hey, my first.
Cool, thank you so much. What's your Twitter handle, Joseph?
At semi. I have different username.
So our usual routine is to give credit to people who contribute. And
nice.
So this is how it looks. This is our Twitter account, Rundfunk MB, which is, let's say, for the German-speaking audience. But I also have another one where where this is my personal account, and I also just translate the whole thing to English and retweet it, so you can read it, so you can understand it. So you just have to give me your Twitter name. So I found out Tonida's Twitter name is Tonida.
I have posted it on the channel, or you can just okay.
There you go.
I don't know even what that means.
All right, so I don't have time right now, but I will give credit to you soon. I guess I will send the tweet tomorrow.
Yep.
Or maybe this night. We'll see. But that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Then let's get back to the Docker thing. So I had similar issues. Maybe I can share that with you. I have 5 minutes left. I had similar problems with you, and I didn't really understand what's going on. So I have one commit on which I think this should fix our issues. I can show you the commit. I haven't pushed it yet because I'm not quite sure if it's doing what I'm expected it's doing. So this is what happens. So we have this Docker Compose override. Oh yeah. Compose override, just for clarification. We have, there are 2 files. If you say Docker Compose up, Docker will look for 2 files by default. That is Docker Compose YAML, obviously, and Docker Compose override. You can have other Docker Compose files like Docker Compose prod, and with F, you can specify which files should be loaded. and the order and the properties will be merged based on the order. So this is the origin. This is the step 1, and then you merge that one into it. If you omit -f, Docker will always look for Docker Compose YAML and Docker Compose override, and we'll merge that into one. So you can have different environments. For example, you can have a local staging environment. That's what we have. So I did the following. There's this staging environment, this is the full stack environment, which has all the tests. There's the staging environment, which has Sidekick additionally. So if you want to run any backend jobs, you can run the staging environment. And if you just want to have a local development environment, everything that gets loaded is Docker Compose YAML and Docker Compose override. Everyone on the same page? All good?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. So the only things that I changed are these. So here we have Docker Compose override and Docker Compose YAML. So those two go together. And I removed volumes. And I put those into, why we don't want to share backend? I think I did a mistake here. Origin master.
You're so fast, Robert.
Oh,
that's okay. I mean,
so what I did is put or sync package JSON and yarn log with host system. We're just with host. So I hope this will fix the endless loop if you need to install front-end dependencies. And in the container.
I have a question though. Like you're syncing the package.json and the yarn.lock with the host, but then the person using Docker would need to be able to. They would need to run yarn and locally.
So yeah, that's the thing. So if you share your node models, then you can install them locally, but we don't share them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
you have a volume which is not connected with your host system.
I mean, I think like for Joseph, I think Joseph was running yarn locally, and then so maybe it would help in his situation. But there are definitely lots of people using Docker that don't have any of that stuff set up locally.
Yeah, and you don't have to, right? I mean, the whole point is you should not need to do it.
Yeah. So in that case, in the case of someone not having anything, then it would just not have anything to sync it with. So it would just you would just be able to run yarn inside the Docker container and like normal.
One minute. I'm a little bit distracted.
That's okay.
By does anybody see where volume override volumes backend? Oh, well, that looks correct. Oh, okay. There was a duplicate, and that's why. Okay, so let's go back here again. So we have node modules, and usually you have the colon. That means this is your host system, this is the container. If you don't have a colon, then you have a volume, but it gets persisted, but it's not shared with your host system. So you have to run yarn install in the container, which is likely what you want, what is desired. Okay? Does it make sense?
What?
So
can you repeat that again?
yeah, do you see this?
Yeah.
So this means the folder's root front end is shared with the host system at local folder front end. Okay, because you have a colon in the middle. And you don't have a colon here. And that means the folder on the container under front end node modules is not shared with the host system.
All right.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had a couple of issues when I don't understand each and everything, but when I did the change, I was looking it up, and I think delegated means that the host system is authoritative. So if you change something, yeah, I think that's the thing. So if you run yarn install, I think yarn log gets updated somehow, and that's in that case not what you want. You want to have the yarn log of the host system, I believe. And that's why I added those. I'm not 100% sure that this will resolve the issue, but I believe, so I'll just push it to master. I mean, what should happen? Is it okay for you?
Yep.
You're breaking up for me. I don't know if it's on my end. So I can try to watch back the video and see if it was on my end.
Yeah, so I believe that I believe I fixed something. I'm not quite sure. It would be great if you could tell me. So my idea is actually that you can run docker compose exec web app when your Docker container is up and running. This will, on my machine, this will take a while now. So if I say docker compose up, well, okay. Not too bad. Ah, yeah, we have it here, yeah? So we have dependencies. And one should be able to say either exec or run --rm yarn install. And I believe I'm sorry. What? Ah, yeah, it's exited. So then you have to say run --rm, because if it will exit if there are no dependencies. So I hope that if you run this command, then the node dependencies in the frontend container are persisted, and you can finally restart the whole thing. Okay, let's see how this is going. This will take a while, I think. But is it clear? Like the whole that it's a little bit confusing what's actually going on here. You have the yarn log and package JSON from the front end container from here.
Yep.
Okay, and then you share this folder, which includes these files. And I think something is just messing it up. So I share those two files explicitly delegated with this delegated mode, which means the host system, I think the host system is authoritative.
Are you not using Docker ignore, the Docker ignore file?
Yeah, the Docker ignore file has no effect for Docker compose.
For node modules?
And not for node modules. So if you have a Docker ignore, then this has an effect for building the Docker container, but it does not have an effect for this one here.
Yeah, right.
There's no such thing like volume ignore.
Yeah, but if you were Docker ignoring those node modules like you git ignore it, then when you're building it in the Docker file, it wouldn't get copied over from your local to the Docker container.
There are two steps. So first you do the Docker build. This will run these commands here.
Yeah, yeah.
Container. Then the Docker ignore has an effect, but soon after it, you use Docker compose and you have those volumes, and these volumes will sync your node modules from the host system with the container.
Yeah, no, I get that part, but I'm just saying, like, during the Docker file, like it doesn't Docker ignore what you Like it copies everything. It doesn't pay attention to the Docker ignore.
Oh shit. Okay, so apparently this did not work. Okay, I guess I have to look into it. Okay, so what I did now, sorry to interrupt you, Matt. So I was trying to start front end after I installed the dependencies, and we get the same error. So this has no effect. Okay, I have to look into it again. Maybe someone can create an issue. That is the same thing, the same problem that you had, Joseph and Matt, just for the record. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Matt, I'm sorry, but I don't think I cannot answer that question. All I know is the Docker ignore just has an effect here. The volume shares everything. If you have this kind of volume, this means it gets persisted but not synced with the host system. And I think there's some issue in here.
Okay. I mean, I can have a look as well.
Okay. So yeah, I'm running out of time. This is it from me. I have to leave. Maybe if you want, you can also just stay in this hangout. But I hope that this helped you.
For what I'm going to do next now. Should I work on?
Well, stuff, you know, like
for you. Joseph, I think the best for you is to work on the Ember Fastboot branch because you did the component thing so well. The problem with the Ember Fastboot will be similar. So you have the property if the user is authenticated. Session is authenticated. And if you're not authenticated, you want to show something when the user clicks on the button.
Yeah.
A message saying you're going to be redirected or something like that.
Yeah.
And if the user is authenticated, you just you support the broadcast because you know who wants to support that broadcast. But you want to show the user this message and another button which will make the redirect, the actual redirect.
Okay.
Saying log in or something like that. So the user does know, okay, what's going on.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is it for today. From my side, you can stay in this hangout if you want. I think as soon as everybody leaves the hangout, the recording will stop.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because maybe when you leave, it might. Sam was saying it might do 5 minutes and then turn off, but we can coordinate maybe, and then if we want to keep going, we can start another one.
Yep, sure, cool. Thank you very much. And by the way, thank you, Joseph. I will credit you on Twitter.
All right, bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Robert. See you soon.
See you.